Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Munciana Courtside. Mike Lingenfelter, along with the always sexy Randall Gardner. Sexy.
I'm surprised you didn't say something about the beard.
I'm trying to back off. It's not my go-to anymore.
All right. The past week highlights we wanted to hit on. We talked last week CAI, Christian Academy going to Providence, big matchup down south. Providence beat them before.
Providence just a little too much experience at that level. I mean, they play a tougher year-round schedule. That's not saying Christian Academy is not good. They're very good at win 4. Got some great players, Razor Bangs. I mean, they're good. They're really good. Providence, a little too much. Providence awfully good, and they're awful experienced.
Yeah. Monday night also, we had Center Grove versus Brownsburg. Center Grove beat Brownsburg in 3, coming off the week Brownsburg had with Avery Brown blowing out her ACL and really trying to figure out the groove, I think, at that point.
Well, you know as well as anybody, I'm still really shocked at how well Cathedral's done. You know, regrouping after Padre Adams.
Yep.
But I think a lot of that has to do with Cathedral's depth. Brownsburg is very, very good, but whenever you lose a player of that magnitude, Brooke Gregory's going to have to really play well for them to really move on. But that's a huge loss for them, and anytime a young lady goes down in the middle of the season, it's a devastating thing. I believe she committed to Ball State early today.
That day.
So it's the best of times, yet the worst of times, and then gets hurt that night. My heart goes out to her, but Center Grove is going to start to get into a groove soon.
Yeah.
And when they do, they're going to be really tough to beat, and that's a good win for them.
Yeah. Another game we talked about, state final from last year, the 4A state championship, Carmel versus Cathedral. Missing some pieces, Carly and those guys down. But Cathedral ended up winning on senior night in 3.
Yeah, Carmel's still trying to figure it out. A little longer than what I thought, but I still think that they'll probably get some things squared away by sections. Too many good players. Cation and Seaman and Bostic and Armstrong and so on. I mean, that's a very good team. But Cathedral is beyond good.
Yeah.
They're, what they're doing is special. And, I'm starting to get the feel that those guys are on a quest.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. That's not saying anything bad about Carmel. Cathedral's just that good.
Yeah. Some other things we wanted to hit on. Delaware County champions. Yorktown took down Delta in 3. Third one's really close. Came out 26-24.
Delta's still not really sure who they are yet. There's moments where they're really, really good. And Yorktown is really, really good. I mean, they're so crazy steady. I got a note today. Somebody was questioning the defensive prowess of Yorktown and versus the Cathedral. Cathedral is unreal. With the White sisters and Smith and some of the kids they throw back their cores. They're incredibly good. The only difference, and when I talk about it, it's there's no block for Yorktown.
Yeah.
Its defense is dictated by blocking. Blocking makes defense a little easier, and the only difference between the two is the block. Cathedral phenomenal defensively. Yorktown. The difference is Cathedral, if they're defensive, it is going to be really hard to ever beat them. Yorktown has to be defensive. It's like breathing for them. If they stop, they're dead. Yeah. And so, but Yorktown, great win for them. Columbus East wins the county.
Yeah, they take down Floyd Central in the championship. Seemed like Floyd Central's starting to get healthy finally, from what Stacy kind of talked about. But just a little too much Columbus East.
Stacy also talking about how much she enjoys this Columbus East team and how good they're becoming, and they're still young. Yeah. They're still young. I say it every week about somebody, and I think that one more year, it's like a fine wine.
Yeah.
You let that thing age another year, and boy, Columbus East can be awfully good. Not saying they're out of it this year, but congrats to them for winning the county. Lawrence North.
Yeah, they took down Perry Meridian in the championship, and Riley said they were just a little too much offense.
But Riley's an awful good setter and an awful good player. But congrats to Nick. He works awfully hard in Lawrence North. That's a good county win.
Yep. Players of the week, or player of the week, sorry, not more than one. This week we had Whitney Hoover.
Well, I'm looking at her numbers. A senior at Indianapolis Lutheran, Middle hitter, 427 kills, hitting close to 400. That's incredibly efficient. I love double digits in kills every match this season. 9 matches with 20-plus kills. The thing that tells me is their consistency, and how much they rely on her. I love when our players of the week are guys that have to be relied on. And, we keep banging around here. We highlighted Christian Academy. We've highlighted the parochials. You got to love when the Lutheran schools start getting a little love too. And Whitney Hoover's having herself a heck of a season, and congratulations to Whitney as well. I did want to make reference to the former Player of the Week, Kia Holder, just committed today to Ball State University. Got that text when I was out and about today, so congratulations to Kia as well. That's awesome for her. And Steve Shondell continues to try to build that program from within the boundaries of the state. And, no one better to start off with than a Courtside Player of the Week. But congrats to Whitney, and good luck to Indianapolis Lutheran.
Yeah. A few games we want to hit on, games of the week. The first game is the get off your butt game of the week. But we'll leave that to the end because that's Monday night game. But we'll go ahead and skip to Tuesday, Edinburgh at, is it Hauser or Hughes? I was wondering. Hauser. So, both, I think, combined only have 4 losses on the year, so it should be a good game.
Both those teams are always good.
Yep.
Always good. So that'll be fun. The South is a little murky still.
Yeah.
No one's, really just blowing it. You don't know who exactly is going to come out of that area of the state. And there's always somebody that surprises you, and it could be either one of those 2 teams. But those are historically good programs.
Wednesday night, Evansville Memorial versus Princeton. Both teams are off to a good start. Princeton's still undefeated. I think they're 22-2 on the year.
That's awesome. And Memorial, same thing. That Evansville area, Evansville had at one time was dominant. The Julie Getty area in Evansville, modern day, Boonville. That little area was really, really good. And it's good to see great volleyball being played out of that area right now. And those 2 schools represent that area very well.
We'll hit on a couple and get our predictions on these 2 games.
Okay.
Thursday night, Zionsville will head to Avon. Should be a good matchup, kind of getting into that postseason. Plus, it's for conference. It's another. I think they're 2 of the top conference teams. I don't know if it's for the conference, but they're at the top.
Zionsville with Eisenbarger and the gang getting better every night. You've seen them. Very, very good. Avon, just great history.
Yeah.
I think the Goins is very, very good, and they've got some kids around there that are doing some wonderful things. Don't put it past Scott. He always peaks at the right time. And so that should be a really good match.
That game, I'm going to probably like Zions, but I like what they're doing. Like you said, throughout the year for the most part. Maybe a little too young. Plus, Avon's always good at home. So I think I'm going to go Avon.
I'm going Orioles. The McQueen factor for me works. Good coach, and historically, this one he shifts gears. This may even be his night. And like I said, Zionsville's still a little young. They're going to be really, really good. Zionsville, Columbus East, Waupun. There's a lot of teams that are going to be really, really good next year. If they shift gears this year, it could be interesting. But I like Avon.
Yep. And kind of get off your butt game of the week, Lazy Boy. We went with Fort Wayne Carroll ahead to Fort Wayne Leo this week. Should be a great game.
Well, I think that what that game showcases is some very, very good team players. Quaid is a tremendous senior talent. Mac Novelak is a tremendous young talent. Wow, that should be really good. I'm going with my girl Cueto on that one. I think that Carroll just a little too much for really a Leo team that's has got a good makeup and could be a very, very good team. I go Carroll.
Yeah, I'm going to Carroll also. Like you said, they're rolling. They haven't lost since HSC. That's the only loss in the year. It was the second weekend of the season, so they're rolling. Raymond James, good news, bad news. Just going to hit on it. We're going to go with a little high-low here.
High-low. I like high-low. High-low is one of my favorite all-time memories from my youth. We'd sit at the table, have dinner, and my parents would literally, my dad always would ask, what was the high, what was the low of the day? And you would have to really think about what was the real apex moment of your day and what was the real downer of the day. And it made you really reflect on life a little bit. My high-low is tanked a little. I got up at 3:30 this morning. I caught a flight to Chicago at 6:30. I arrived in Chicago at 6:30, hour time change. Met at the airport for 3 hours, got in a plane, flew back, got back here in time to run our academies with you. So I'm a little tired. It's late at night. I'm a little worn down after a couple hours of lessons and 3 or 4 hours of camp. So bear with me. My high, I loved watching Delta Hamilton Southeastern this week. I don't think that anybody, either of the coaches, would say it was their best volleyball. And I'm not saying that. I love the energy. I thought the pursuit plays in that game were as good as any I've seen all year long. I love the energy and excitement of the coaches. I love the energy and excitement of the fans. I loved how the kids played. I went to the Delaware County tournament this week. I watched the semifinals. And I loved the celebrations. I loved the exuberance, the passion. My dad once told me that the key to a really good life is to find a job that you love, and then find somebody just stupid enough to pay you to do it. That's the key to a good life. And some of these kids are going to get paid to do something they love, and I think that's beautiful. But sometimes you forget just why we play the game. And I love the high. I love the passion. I love this time of year. I love going into sectionals. There's that March Madness feel about it, where you really get to see why these kids do what they do. You know the Yorktown kids putting away a ball against, WAP, and just explosion of enthusiasm. I love it because too often we talk about working at getting better. Parents act like they're agents instead of parents. It was just neat to see parents loving their kids and kids loving the game.
Yep.
That's my high. That's my low. Let's be really honest here. I can be as hard on officials as any man in North America. Sometimes just an ass. And I will tell you that any time, and you can ask any officials out there, get a hold of Donnie Goodwin, get a hold of Sean Thayer, get a hold of any of these guys, and I will tell you, they'll be the first to tell you that I am the first to tell an official when they've done a hell of a good job. I will also let them know when I think it's not been a good job. And any time I've been out of line, I've apologized. I will tell you that this weekend, with all the reports out and about, I will tell you that whenever an official comes to a tournament of the magnitude of the Delaware County tournament and references how hurt or that he would not want to come back because of the actions of an adult, not a player, not a coach, not a fan, I think that's sick. I will tell you right now that one of the things that hurts our game is there's not enough good coaches. There's not enough good referees. There's not enough good coaches because the people just get beat on. Coaches get hammered. They're horrible. These guys are doing their job. They're working hard.
For no money.
They get critiqued. They lose money to do this job, folks. Referees, and everybody looks, well, they get paid. And it's not like these guys are driving Maseratis. They get abused. And so I look at it, if a coach gets on an official, I think you can get that. But when somebody on the sidelines gets out of control to the point in a tournament of the magnitude of this, that's wrong. That's 100% wrong. I will tell you, Matt Kniezevich gets barked at. Matt Kniezevich is as good an official as the state of Indiana has. As good an official as I've seen, and I played everywhere in this country. As a player and as a coach, as good as I've seen. So with that, with all due respect, I apologize for the actions of anyone in this county towards any of those officials. I watched those guys officiate. That was a great officiating crew for a county tournament. My low, and you can look and say, well, Lingenfelter's on a tirade because he's tired. I just think that sometimes we forget, me included, we forget how hard that job is. We also forget how good some of those guys are. Matt Kanizovic, Sean Thayer, Mike, I mean, good God.
Yeah.
I mean, there's guys all over the state that are great officials. You know, and it doesn't matter what club event you're playing in. Every one of these clubs has great officials. You know, we need great officials for this game to continue to be great. And the actions this weekend that's regrettable.
Yeah.
That's regrettable.
It is. All right, this week we wanted to go away from the top 10 that we normally do. We wanted to do a little more of each class system. And so we went Gear Munciana top 4. We wanted to really hit on it. F1, so we'll start with the little guys. Can I get them to bang right here?
Yeah, I think it's good to show, you know, one of the things about this state that's really interesting is the depth and breadth of volleyball is really unique in the sense that, you know, there's the number 1 team in the nation's in this state. But I tell you what, our little guys, the small guys are really good.
Yeah.
You know, we picked the top 4. We're leading off with Fort Wayne Blackhawk Christian, number 4 in our 1A poll. You can hit their week.
Yeah, they lost to they beat Woodland, they beat Lakewood, Park, Christian, and they lost Fort Wayne Carroll. But it is the small guy versus it's almost the David versus Goliath.
It's Pee Wee Herman. That's Pee Wee Herman posting up Shaq.
Yeah,
that's not gonna work. That's a great team. I love when these little guys play people like this. That's ridiculous, but I think that's beautiful, and that's Blackhawk Christian is 20-2, and they're 4 in our poll. Frontier at 21-3.
Yeah, beat West Lafayette. Kind of a quiet week for those guys. They only played once, but 21-3 on the year.
One of my favorite coaches in the state, Frontier.
Yeah,
I like what he does. I like Frontier. Very competitive. Always going to get there. You're going to get his best and their best. Christian Academy.
Yeah,
is number 2 in my book. 19-2.
Yeah, lost to Providence in 4, but like you talked about, Providence 2-time defending state champion.
Yeah.
Heritage Christian, always a good program, and they had a good win against those guys. So 19-2, I think the 2 losses, like we talked about, are Providence, a 3A school, and Tate's Creek, not even a team in Indy. So at that point,
and as well coached a team as there is in the state. That's the neat thing about it is you know, both of those coaches, Frontier and Christian Academy, are well coached. 2 of the best folks you want to meet, 2 great guys that can really get after it. You know, that's why they're there, and I want people to understand how good these teams really are. Number 1, Lafayette Central Catholic. Good.
They've only lost 6 sets on the year.
You know, 6 sets, undefeated, 26-0, kind of rolled in here and beat Westel. And Westel, at the time, was ranked number 1 in 2A. You know, the people I talked to at Westel said they're the real deal.
Yeah.
They're the real deal, 26-0. Number 1 and yet another well-coached team. Yeah. And they're always in the hunt. Every year they're in the hunt. And congratulations to those 4 teams. I'm sure there's 40 more out there that deserve love in 1A, but those would be the 4 that I would pick.
Yeah, all good teams. Top 4 in 2A.
Rochester
26-1, took down Southwood. Usually that's a big rival with those guys early in the year.
Yeah, Mechanical, they beat them this week. Mechanical's had a great season.
I think they've lost 7 sets on them.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
So they take down Mechanical, Wabash, Winnemac. Rochester 26-1. Once again, one of the finest coaches in the state of Indiana. She's been doing it a long time, and congrats to Rochester. They deserve to be up there. Beautiful team. 3 is Bar Reeve. I tell you what, if you follow Indiana high school volleyball, Bar Reeve is on the map every year.
Yeah.
They're always.
It's usually a 1A school.
1A school.
Last couple of years been close enough to the state championship, so they moved up.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
They're very good. Had a big week. You know, knocked out a couple, lost to Northview, but Northview's had a great
Top
season.
3A on a regular basis.
Yep. So Bar Reeve 2. Number 3, number 2, the Fighting Megan Millers of Alexandria.
Got 1,000 kill this weekend.
Yep, congratulations to her and Kat DiBiase, Ted DiBiase gets knocked down. But Alec is number 2. They take down Eastbrook, Elwood, Madison Green, always very good in 2A.
Yeah.
That's a very well coached team as well. But they're dynamite, and they went 5 in a thriller on our number 1 team's home court.
Yeah.
Number 1 for me still is Wapahan.
Yeah.
Maybe me being a homer. Those guys are always deeply embedded. They're sewn into my soul. But they're 14-8, and before you start blowing me up about these guys being in there, they play a very difficult schedule.
Well, we can talk about 4 losses this week. 2 to Muncie Central, which is on fire right now.
Yeah.
Playing out of their mind. Elkhart Memorial, another 4A school, always at the top. And the Delaware County champions.
Yeah, and Wapahani, I'm telling you, they're one player. They need to get 6 to 8 kills out of one other player other than Skylar Van Noot. If they can get a little more offensive help. I've been wrong. They're handling the ball okay.
Yep.
They just need one more person to step up firepower-wise. A little more discipline on defense, and they're going to be awfully hard to beat. They're my number 1.
Well, it's like you talked about. They beat Alexander earlier in the year. They beat Westdale, which was ranked number 1. It's like you talked about, roller coaster there. They have to be at the top. Top 4, 3A.
Northview. We made reference to them earlier, just a minute ago, in regards to always being on the map. Northview is very, very good. Northview 23-2.
Yeah.
And did have a week, a pretty good week. They took down historically powerful Mater Dei, Bar Reeve, and they're the real deal.
It'll be interesting when we'll get to Providence soon enough here, but when those two will probably see each other, I'm guessing semi-state of the South in 3, which that'll be a fun. Yeah. Number 3?
It's one of the Lawrenceburg. They're quickly becoming my go-to. I like Lawrenceburg. I like the fighting casinos, and 24-0.
7 sets dropped, I think. What is it also?
Yeah, you don't lose. You got to give them love. And you look this week. They take down Milan of Hoosiers fame. You smack the Hoosiers guys. That's Milan goes down, Franklin Center, and Connersville.
Yeah.
And that's a good week. Lawrenceburg. We don't know much about them because of where they're at in the state, but gosh dang it. 24
undefeated.
Undefeated is good.
Number
Is
2.
good. Providence. 23-3, beat Christian Academy, Jeffersonville, Brownstown Central. I tell you, I think there's going to be a perfect storm coming in 3A. That could be a lot of fun if Providence and our number 1 team roll through this thing.
Yeah.
Because they're a little different than one another. Incredibly well. Terry Perica is as good a coach as there is in the country.
Yep.
I like Providence. I love their fans. I love what they do.
Yeah. Number 1?
Yorktown. Yorktown beats Delta to win the county. They beat Wapahani. They beat Cowan. They beat New Pal. They're marching on. They did have the setback to Central. They're crazy consistent. They're going to be tough to beat. But I watched the other night against Wapahani, and Wapahani needs to swing at the ball a little bit more. But Wapahani went up and got 3 cracks at the ball, 2 shots down the line that were dug by Mimi Arrington with her hands, back-to-back blast, great line shots. You don't see that a lot in a high school game. And then a cross-court blast that was dug, and these were 3 hard-hit shots. Wapahani unloaded, threw everything they had, and Yorktown had an answer on all 3, and ended up scoring on a chop shot to the 36.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to keep balls in play, and they're going to beat you with ball control, and they're my number 1 3A team.
Yeah. And like you talked about, just the will to fight and battle. They were in that game with Delta, down, I think it was 16 to 23, I think, ended up getting up to 24, 22, and battled back to win.
Well, what they do really well, and what's really important at this time of year, if you're really looking at your high school teams, the teams that can win long rallies on a regular basis become very dangerous at this time of year because it tells you how clean they're playing, but it also tells you a little bit of how hard they're playing. This is it's kind of on a happy hour, right now, and this is when people are finding out who's going home and who's not. The lights are flashing, and we got to figure out, it's about time to go home.
Yeah.
Because the guys that have to go right now that can stay with it and really are shifting gears become really good. And The teams right now at the top of my list are really the teams that I think they're very good volleyball teams, but I think they care. The teams that care the most at this time of year are going to be the most dangerous because they won't give up. They won't surrender. You're going to have to kill them to beat them. Those teams tend to be reflective of their coaches, but they're also the teams that you don't want to run into at this stage of the game.
Yeah.
That's where Avon's been over the last couple of years. They just refused to lose. Carmel last year refused to lose. And it sounds cliche, but you know what? The guys that give a damn right now are the guys who are going to cause trouble.
Yeah.
And Yorktown's one of those teams. They have an awful lot of fight. When you're in a hole 23-18 and drive back on a good Delta team. Delta
Pressure
is good.
situation too.
Yeah, I watched HSE do that with Delta this week. Delta did not lose that game. HSE just kind of rose. That's a great team to come out to have a 23-16 lead and watch it evaporate says more about Yorktown than it does about Delta. It's not a negative for Delta. Delta's good.
Yeah. All right. Brownsburg slides out of the top four of this after, it's hard to stay at the top when you lose one game because everybody wins on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Number 4?
I'm going for Wayne Carroll, and my 4 could be my 2.
Yeah.
I will tell you, it's only because they really don't have the strength of schedule that 3 in front of them have. That doesn't mean they can't beat them.
No.
Because I'm telling you that Quaid could be as good as anybody in the state of Indiana. There's a reason she's going to Illinois.
Yeah.
Beat Blackhawk Christian, who you heard us talk about earlier. Beat Homestead this week. They're 23-1. Got a couple of good matches. They got a matchup with Concordia coming up. They got a matchup with Leo coming up. They're going to be tested a little.
Yeah.
But their big test comes sectional regional time.
Yep, no doubt. All right, number 3, big one this week.
With Center Grove. All year long I've been waiting for those guys to climb right back to the top. Smithers is really, really, really good. Really good. And if they can take care of the ball and feed their middles, the only team that can play with them really at that point is Cathedral. And Cathedral's a little dinged up in the middle of the court right now, but Center Grove's my 3.
Yeah. Like you said, 2 down Brownsburg this week. Great one. Number 2?
Hamilton Southeastern. I watched them not play their best volleyball against Delta. I'd seen them play better early in the year. Hubers was still awfully good. Lark Jones awfully good. Burgess awfully good. Kane awfully good. But not their best this week when I watched them play. But the mark of a great team is to play down and still find enough deep in your soul to win. I saw really what is really kind of a cultural change as they get better. They refuse to lose. They just dug in their heels and said, "Not here, not at all. We're not going to fade." Very good team, 26-2. Really only has a couple of matches left before sectionals. It'll be interesting to see what goes on. And in an interesting sectional.
Yeah.
For them, it'll be intriguing, but they're as good as anybody.
Yeah. And it's amazing is HSC in that top 20-ish of the national polls on the prep volleyball. And also Wayne Carroll gets some love on the max preps. They're now in the top 20. So
Really?
yeah,
It's awesome.
so not too bad when you got 3 in the top of the max preps and everything else.
It's a really good state to be.
It is.
It is.
All right, number 1.
It's a shocker. I will tell you that, the bad news for the Cathedral Irish. Last year, once Notre Dame got beat and I got off my high horse, Irish got a little wobbly. I think they were feeling my pain. My Irish last night were miserable. I don't think you could have played worse than those guys played. I will tell you, if you're a volleyball guy, you need to go watch the start of the Notre Dame Clemson game. The energy and effort that Clemson put into the start of that game, they were like wild animals. Team that reaches 10 first wins 82% of the games in high school volleyball. Your only chance of beating Cathedral is to get out of the gate fast. I'm telling you right now. Unlike my Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Cathedral still has an answer, and they've lost some bodies too, and they're still filling the void. They're awfully good. They're awfully good, and I'm sure that within a week or so you're going to be hitting me with the stinking undefeated question again, just to put me on the spot. But they're off. You know, they beat Carmel and Westfield and did it with relative ease.
Well, another thing I liked about the Carmel thing is just kind of hearing what they did. They played all their seniors the first and third section. My favorite thing, though, is Coach K. Coach K puts Audrey Adams in to start the match and then subbed her out. But it was kind of cool. You know, a lot of people would just think, you know, she's out with an injury, so she's chilling on the bench. But she put her in, started, and I thought that was awesome.
I wouldn't have done it because either A, I'm too stupid to realize that to do something that clever, or too anal to worry about losing. But that's what makes Cathedral a different program. They think differently, you know. And Gene Kesterson is, she may be the classiest coach in the state of Indiana, maybe in the country. You know, and congratulations to Cathedral. Still got the bullseye firm. He's playing it right on your butt. A couple people will shoot at it, I'm sure, this week. It's their city championship, which probably Chittard or something like that.
Yeah, Chittard and all those guys, they always usually...
They'll take a shot at them. Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
That's all we got this week.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm anxious to get some sleep. Good week of volleyball last week. I hope this week is as good. Fans, be good to your coaches. Cheer for your kids. Kids, play the game like there's no tomorrow. And love your refs a little. Love your refs a little, because I tell you, those guys do a heck of a good job and take too much grief. I'm guilty. But I will tell you, whenever I've had the chance to sit back and think about it, when they've done it well,